Listen to me. That is not what you want to be doing. I repeat, that is not what you want to do. Fuck you, dude. At least be, I was just gonna move on from this to the second excuse, but I know how many of you watching this video are going through this problem right now. I think it's time for the nuke. I am warning you in advance, spoiler alert, what I'm about to say is going to fuck you up, is going to change your entire perception of the importance of social skills, the importance of, let me just say that I'm going to do justice to the title of this video. The title is not why it would be nice to have good social skills, why your life would be a little bit better. The title is why you need to work on your social skills. Are you ready? There is nothing more disgusting than a socially awkward man. Look at those excuses popping up in your mind. Look at your brain trying its best to justify to you why it's okay for you to be socially inept. I know because I have been there. I know because my brain used to come up with the same excuses every time I felt bad about my lack of social skills, about my social awkwardness. Well, that's as good a place to start as any. Taking these excuses one by one and hitting them all out the park. So, let's begin. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Let's start with the most common misconception of all, especially prevalent in our self-improvement circles, but we'll get to that in a moment. See, personally, I believe this is the most brilliant one. I believe this is the smartest excuse our brain can come up with, because the best excuse is not one that tries to keep you from doing something, because at some point you'll say, I want to do it anyway, I want to improve my life, so I'm going to do it. The best excuse is one that makes you not do it right now. Because we're always down for that. We're always down for, okay, I can't do it right now, but at XYZ point in the future, this is going to happen, that is going to happen, and then I'm going to fucking do it. Now, how does all of this fit into self-improvement, you ask? I'm glad you ask. I have just the answer for you. Let's look at this from the point of view of someone who's just starting out on self-improvement. Let's say we have Andrew. Now, Andrew looks at himself as a bottom dog, as a failure, as a nothing. But he rests comfortable with the knowledge that as long as he's putting in the work, with time he's just going to get better and better and better until, he reaches this point. Now, with all of that given, how far-fetched is it for somebody over here who knows, who's convinced that he's going to get here? And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you're putting in the work, yes, you are. But the problem is that they think that I am over here, I suck right now, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, and I also am fucking terrible at social interactions. I cannot hold a conversation with somebody for the life of me. I suck at it, I'm terrible at it. So how unreasonable is it for them to think that I am going to get better anyway, right? And you think that I'll start working on my social skills once I improve myself, because at least I'll be a somebody then. Listen to me. That is not what you want to be doing. I repeat, that is not what you want to do. That is your brain coping. That is your brain being fucking smart and understanding that it can keep itself in the comfort zone for a little longer by just making this excuse. You'll never be good enough, dude. For all your life, you'll just keep waiting to get better and better and better, and you'll never work on yourself socially. 15, 20 years later, you'll be sitting there in your mansion with the Lamborghinis and the Aston Martins parked in your garage, but with zero friends and no social life, because you never took the effort to do something about it. I know you feel like I'm calling you out right now. I know you feel like you're being personally attacked. I need you to understand this. Social skills is a pillar of self-improvement that needs to be worked on individually. Internalize that. Okay, that was excuse number one, that I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to better myself, I'm going to improve, and then I'm going to work on my social skills. Fuck you, dude. At least be, I was just going to move on from this to the second excuse, but I know how many of you watching this video are going through this problem right now, who have this mindset that, yeah, I am going to get better and then I'll work on myself. Consider this a personal fuck you from me. At least be honest with yourself. At least say that, okay, I'm pushing out right now, so that at some point you feel bad and decide to do something about it. Okay, excuse number two. And this again is very common amongst self-improvement circles. We have a lot of people saying, I'm going to be a lone wolf, I'm going to work in solitude, I'm going to work in isolation, and I'm going to put in the grind, I'm going to make it big. And let's put the third excuse of, I don't care what people think of me, along with this one. I mean, this one's almost obviously a cope, but still, let's talk about it. Humans are social creatures. That's a fact. That's not something we're sitting here to argue or fight about. Humans are social creatures. For hundreds and thousands of years, we've lived in large groups of people. We've lived in tribes. And if someone couldn't figure out how to gel with the tribe, how to fit in into the tribe, they would be banished from it. They would be left to fend for themselves and probably would die in the next couple of weeks. This is why over thousands of years humans evolved, humans adapted to really start to care what those around them thought of them. So it's literally ingrained in our DNA to care what people around us think of us. Do not try to argue about facts like a little child. And secondly, it's been proven time and again that for most social animals, including humans, extended periods of isolation is extremely detrimental for their physical health as well as their mental health. The increase in death rates among people who've been socially isolated for long periods of time is comparable to the death rates from smoking and from obesity. Well, that's excuse number 2 and 3. Hit for a home run, like hit out the fucking stadium, dude. Let's now get to the final excuse that we're going to talk about today. I am an introvert. Yo, I'll be honest, dude, to me it's starting to seem like people are just using the word introvert to hide behind their flaws. You'll see people putting up posts like, I am extremely socially awkward. I cannot hold a conversation with a human being for a second. My social skills are in the negatives. I get extremely anxious when I'm out in public, but I am an introvert. As if that makes it okay, as if that justifies it. I don't think you even understand what introversion means. So let me do the honors. To be honest, I don't even remember where I read or heard this, but I still remember it today, like 5 years later. So let me explain it to you the way I understand it. See, first of all, it's a spectrum. It's not that a person is either an introvert or an extrovert, but it's rather a spectrum, and almost all of us lie somewhere in between. None of us are completely an introvert or an extrovert. We are all a mix of the two, and where you lie on the spectrum depends person to person. So somebody who's nearing the end of the spectrum, somebody who's almost entirely an introvert, wakes up in the morning with a full bar of energy. With every social interaction that they do throughout the day, they deplete a little bit of their energy until by the end of the day they've completely depleted it. Again, they wake up the next morning with a full bar of energy. Now, somebody on this end of the spectrum, somebody who's almost entirely an extrovert, wakes up with an empty bar of energy. With every social interaction throughout the day, they gain a little bit of energy, they become a little bit more charged, they become a little bit more energetic, until by the end of the day, they've completely charged themselves up, until they're completely fulfilled and content by the end of the day. And again, they wake up the next morning with an empty bar of energy. Now, did you hear social awkwardness or social skills or lack of social skills anywhere over here? Fucking no, dude. Like, it's just a personality trait, right? So stop hiding your flaws behind a personality trait. Both of these extremes have their pros and their cons. I see that some of you still might go that I don't give a fuck, I don't care about being socially awkward. Like, for the few moments when I am interacting with people, when I am out socially, it's okay. I don't mind it that much too. That if I'm socially awkward, if I'm not really the attraction of the room, if I am not able to gel with anybody, it's okay. I'll go back home and I'll charge myself. I'll be content. I'll be happy then. I think it's time for the nuke. I'll be honest, I had this in my back pocket all this time, dude, but for your tiny little excuses that I don't care about people, I don't care what people think of me, and I'm the lone wolf, I didn't want to nuke those arguments. I just wanted a good enough counter argument to hit them out the park. But get ready for this. Yo, I am warning you in advance, spoiler alert, what I'm about to say is going to fuck you up, is going to change your entire perception of the importance of social skills, the importance of, let me just say that I'm going to do justice to the title of this video. The title is not why it would be nice to have good social skills, why your life would be a little bit better. The title is why you need to work on your social skills. Are you ready? Okay, before we begin, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Everything that I'm going to talk about, everything I'm going to explain to you, I myself have learned and understood and internalized through the brilliant words of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. The man's a god, dude. I don't think the man needs an introduction. So let's just begin. Think of it as there being a calculator within you. Yo, not a literal calculator, relax. Don't worry, you don't need surgery to remove a calculator that somehow got within you. But for the sake of simplicity, let's say that there is a calculator within you, right? Now I'm going to talk about what it does, but I want to begin by explaining to you the extent at which it operates, the power that it has over you, okay? Now this calculator is embedded deep within you, like deeper than your thoughts and your feelings. Your thoughts and feelings are fucking deep, dude. Like, you have no control over your feelings, right? If somebody comes and bangs into your car from behind, you are going to be outraged. You have no control over it. And thoughts, we shouldn't even get into that. Like, where do thoughts come from? Where do they go? When you think that you don't want to think about something but end up thinking about it anyway, who's the one who's thinking that he doesn't want to think, and who's the one who's actually thinking about it? A mind fuck, to say the least, right? So they are deep within you, your thoughts and your feelings. And this calculator is multiple layers even below your thoughts and your feelings. It's been found in creatures that existed 350 million years ago. For context, humans have been around for like 300,000 years. So the entire human existence, multiply it by 1,000. That's how old that calculator is. It's been around since before such complex creatures even existed. In the words of Dr. Peterson, it is a master control system modulating our perceptions, values, emotions, thoughts, and actions. It powerfully affects every aspect of your being, conscious and unconscious. That is how powerful this calculator is. Now, what does it do? Its only job is to monitor exactly where you are positioned in society. Its only job is to watch how you are treated by other people, and on that evidence, it renders a determination of your value and assigns you a status. This was in the words of Dr. Jordan Peterson, by the way. And on the basis of how people view you, this calculator gives you a worth. It decides how you will view yourself, how much self-respect will you have, what your self-worth will be like. My fucking god, dude. Do you need any more persuasion to work on your social skills, bro? Everything about you, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your feelings, everything is affected by how people view you. If you have good social skills, people treat you with respect, people treat you well, you are positioned well in society, and so you automatically start viewing yourself better. And the power of self-worth, yeah, that's going to need a separate video of its own, but you will never rise above how you view yourself. For example, if you believe that your worth is this much, that you deserve to earn this much, you'll spend your entire life just touching that ceiling. It's been put in these words, I forget where I'd read this, but it's been said that people live their entire lives as if there is an artificial ceiling over their heads. And this ceiling is your self-worth. Imagine if your potential was to reach till here, but because you believe that you could only reach till here, your entire life, this is the maximum that you'll ever be able to go. But let's save all that for the self-worth video. Coming back to what we were talking about, how people view you is how you will view yourself, and how you view yourself is going to determine your entire life. Everything, all the success you're going to get, all the success you're not going to get, everything is going to be determined by your sense of self-worth, which is determined by how people view you. It blew my mind the first time I heard this, dude. 350 million years. Dinosaurs were still around 65 million years ago. I hope you understood the value of what I just conveyed to you, bro. It literally gave me goosebumps again just thinking about the extent at which all of this works, dude. The impact that just how people view you can have on your entire life, how your entire life is going to turn out. I had some more things that I wanted to say. I also wanted to get into how do you actually start working on your social skills, but I believe anything else that I say from this point on will just dilute the value of what was just conveyed to you. I'll put up a short video on how do you actually work on your social skills soon, but for now, I urge you to give some time to what you just consumed. Let it sink in, let it internalize. I think that's the best thing I can do for you, making you understand the importance of this thing and making you understand the importance of giving it some time and working on it. And as always, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next one.